Early church father Tertullian said that the death of the martyr is the seed of the church. And I think that, it's something we've heard a lot, really, especially since Charlie was killed. Probably the best church history example I could give would be the life of Polycarp. He was being kind of pursued and chased. He ended up kind of going out to sort of a house in the country. It kind of got to the point to where if they're gonna find me, they're gonna find me, and just kind of stopped hiding the way that, probably his disciples wanted him to. And these soldiers come to get Polycarp, and they knock on the door, they find him inside, and it was late at night when they found him, and it would have been a long journey kind of back to, back to see the prefect and the emperor that was going to, eventually try him. And so Polycarp invited them all in, and he says, hey, no reason to go out on the road at night. You guys might as well stay the night here. He put them up in his house, and he fed them a meal. And he actually served these guys that showed up to arrest him and ultimately lead him to his death. And he served a meal. Prayed over them. They saw his witness. They were impacted by that. Then he goes to the ruler. He's in the amphitheater. They're trying to get him to renounce what they were accusing him of was being an atheist, and because he didn't believe in all the gods of Rome. And so they challenged him, and they said, basically, would you just, would you rebuke the atheists and condemn the atheists? And he looked out at the whole crowd of people that were all pagan, and he said, I condemn the atheists. I rebuke the atheists, kind of pointing to them rather than, to those who believe in Christ. And he eventually, they go to tie him up to a stake and burn him. And he said, I've been serving my Lord my entire life. He was an old man, probably 80 years old. And he said, I'm not going to stop now at my death. And so he asked them not to shackle him, together, and they just they complied. And so he stood there in the midst of this brush that they put around him, hanging onto this stake, and they lit this on fire. And it said that when they lit kind of the fire, that there was like almost just this glow around him, and that people saw like the Spirit of God kind of engulf him there, but his body wasn't burning. And so it was sort of this supernatural moment. And then finally, one of the soldiers was commanded to jab a spear into the midst of this and to pierce his side and ultimately take his life. And then he finally succumbed to the flames. And, when something like that happens and the whole world gets to see it, there's an impact. I wish that we didn't have to go through persecution the way that Christians are in order for us to wake up and follow the Lord and seek his ways. But it seems that sometimes it requires things like this to wake us up.